What an amazing parable that we have heard today. This is one that speaks so clear about our responsibility as children of God, but also for us to understand how important it is to put our talents in service, to multiply them. So, what is happening here, and let us go back a little bit. Last Sunday, we heard the parable about the 10 virgins, where the Lord was trying to teach us the importance of being always ready for His coming. And all of these readings, until I think next Sunday, they are going to talk about the coming of the Lord. Because when we go to the next liturgical year, which is Advent, we are going to meditate about the incarnation of the Lord. So Christ was saying, you must always have your lamps filled with oil, so that when I go and visit you, you will be ready. That means you have to always live in the state of grace, putting away and aside mortal sin. That means having our lamps full of oil, full of grace, the grace of God. So now, this is another teaching. Now he's telling us, each of us have received different talents according to our abilities. So we cannot complain about our neighbor, I don't know, your husband, your wife, your kids, anybody, that he or she has more than you, or he knows how to play the guitar, he knows how to play the piano, she knows how to sing. We cannot complain what others have. We need to see what I have received. So let us concentrate on that, because we tend to compare ourselves. Oh, how come he's so tall? How come he's so successful in life? How come he has this or that? How come he's not or she's not struggling with this problem? Complainings and more complainings. Instead of, again, looking at ourselves and realizing that we have received what we need in order to be holy. Right? So this is the first point here. The second one is, and the Lord is clear about this, since you were faithful in small matters. This is very important for us. Faithful in the small matters, I will give you great responsibilities. In other words, because you multiplied what you have received during your whole life, because He's coming after a long time to settle accounts with them, because you were faithful, I'm going to give you more. So the more we say yes to Him, the more we listen to this good voice, the holy voice of the Holy Spirit and also our conscience, and we follow that voice instead of following to the bad one, the temptation, God is going to be able to give us more graces. And this is important for us, especially this word, small matters, faithful in the small matters. What does it mean? That whenever we listen to our conscience, whenever we do the will of God, we are climbing the mountain, because life is like climbing a big mountain. So we have to go up, and it's hard to go up. The more faithful we are, or we become, the more virtuous we become, but also the opposite. The less faithful we are in the small matters, the less we are going to receive from God, the less we are going to grow in virtue. Let me give you an example. Let's say that the Lord is telling you, I don't know, you come back tired from work, and you see your 10 or 11 kids waiting for you. You're at that, okay? And they want to play all of them with you, but you are so tired. And then you see your wife, all busy, and then she's telling you, can you help me with the kids? But you are so tired, and that voice is telling you, go and play with your kids. Go and play. And you are arguing, but I'm so tired, I don't have energy for my 10 kids. And at the end you say, I would rather go to sleep, and I will tell my kids, Dad is so tired, I'm feeling sick, I will go to bed. So instead of following that voice in the small matters, getting out from your comfort zone, you choose not to follow that voice. So the next time it's going to be more difficult for you to say yes, to overcome that tiredness that you were experiencing. Could be the same thing with someone who, let's say, is asking you to help in the church. Many of you already do this. You know that you have these talents, that you know how to sing, you know how to play, you know how to read well, and whenever the priest approaches you and he's saying, can you help me? We need more lectors, we need more people here or there. And you say, no, Father, I'm so busy. And you know that you can make the effort. So you lose that chance to give a little bit more, to multiply your talents. And you can apply this in different ways. It's up to you to imagine those situations, daily situations, where God is calling you to multiply your talents, to give more, to avoid laziness also, and to help Him build His kingdom with your talents. So let's pay attention to these two things that the Lord is sharing with us today. We have received enough talents to be holy, but also we need to be faithful in the small matters. Lastly, I would like to finish and let us pay attention to the last servant, the third one, who didn't do anything at all. And the gospel is saying, out of fear, I went off and buried your talent in the ground. How many times, out of fear, we decided not to do something? Out of fear. Because we were not feeling secure enough. And we said, I better don't take this risk. I better keep I better choose to be the same person. I don't want to change because I am afraid of changing or afraid of overcoming this situation. So let us not allow the evil one, our enemy, to put fear into the good intentions that the Lord wants to put in our hearts. Let us ask these graces today, and let us trust God a little bit more, because at the end, the biggest sin that this third servant fall into was not his laziness or his fear, but the lack of trust in his master. Let us trust more what God inspired us and also what God is putting into our heart. And let us not be afraid of making those decisions, because whenever we make those decisions, even if we fail, we learn. Because for us, failing is also a way of learning. Let me finish with this quote from Mother Teresa of Calcutta. She said once, I do not pray for success. I ask for faithfulness. God does not require that we be successful, only that we be faithful. And this is what we need to always remember. As long as I am faithful, especially in the small matters, I will continue multiplying my talents. And by multiplying my talents and giving God glory with my life, I will finally be in His presence in heaven forever.